This was me before I reinvented myself. I was constantly thinking about food, obsessing over my body, and I was trapped in that all or nothing cycle. And this is who I am now. But the real transformation, it didn't start in the gym or with a diet plan. It actually started here with how I saw myself. In this video, I'm breaking down the 11 habits that help me to feel free in my body, confident in my skin, and really grounded in who I am. If you're tired of trying to fix your body without healing your relationship with it, this is for you. I'm Clara. I'm a coach who helps high achieving women to heal their relationship with food, self-worth, and body image so they can feel aligned from the inside and out. The first habit that I made to myself that really felt like the most unnatural one to me was to make small promises to myself. I used to be the person who really thrived of like going all in. I really liked the excitement of feeling that you are actually putting all of your effort into this really big goal, and I kind of thrived under that pressure of being like, I have to perform, I have to do this. But what I realized is that when I was always going all in into my goals, I, like a lot of the times, always went in nothing. So it always ended up having me to self-sabotage, and it didn't actually lead me to where I wanted to be. And the guilt and the shame when you are not being able to keep that standard, that eventually really torn down my self-trust and my ability to actually believe that the things that I told myself that I would actually do them. So making the small promises was a huge game changer, even if it's just those tiny little things of like making your bed in the morning or prepping your breakfast the night before. It could be like the tiniest thing, but once you start doing that regularly, like on a weekly basis, and slowly building up that trust that you can do the things that you tell yourself that you do, what we don't realize is that the small promises is actually what is also making you stay consistent and what's making you get results and actually enjoy the progress too. Number 2 is to move your body to feel good and not just to tick it off. I often find myself getting into a spiral of feeling guilty when I didn't go to the gym or when I missed a session, feeling like I was only doing it for the sake of like performing and only doing it because I had to. And that eventually really damaged my relationship with the gym. And I ended up really actually not even liking going. 3, so set up habit goals instead of aesthetic ones, because your aesthetics is going to change no matter what. When you stick to your habits, you are going to change the way that your body looks. It's going to take weeks until you notice a difference, and having it to be solely body composition focused can be motivating when it's going really well, but when you're in the trenches, when you're feeling really bad about your body and only really setting goals to be like towards aesthetics, it is so demotivating because the way that your body looks is going to change every single day. And I truly learned this when I was doing bodybuilding and when I was prepping for my show. Your body will basically look so different depending on if you're having more fats one day or if you're having more carbs another day, or if you're dehydrated, if you're like holding more like fluid retention. There's just so many things that would actually impact on how your body looks like on a daily basis. Having it to be solely aesthetic focus it's not really worth it because you are going to give up. And I see women all the time that solely just go to the gym to lose weight and to look good. But when that initial drive of motivation, when that finishes, like when you get to the point where you don't feel motivated anymore, you need to have a deeper purpose for it. So setting up habits instead of focusing on the aesthetics would really help you just to create that consistency, and having habits to be more of like, setting up a habit of, okay, I'm just going to get to the gym. And no matter if you performed really well or if you didn't, it doesn't matter because you went to the gym and that was your goal. Number 4 is to clean up your social media feed and what you are consuming. I want you to think of your social media as you having a conversation with someone directly face to face. Our phone is our closest environment that we have every day now. It's like if you meet your friends, obviously they will have a great impact on you as well. But what you consume in your phone is going to be the closest relationship to you. I want you to treat every social media account, everything that you consume on social media as it would like directly impact your thoughts. Because even if you don't think that it does, it's subconsciously always going to be absorbed and it's going to be in the background of your mind. And anytime you are facing, challenging times, whenever you get into a slump, that inner critic is going to use all the information that you have consumed and it's going to find evidence of why your bad thoughts about yourself is true. If you find yourself, comparing yourself to like other girls that are looking really lean or whatever it might be, just unfollow. Just guarantee that you will feel so much more peaceful when you actually look at to what you consume every single day and you treat it like it's the most important thing in your life. Number 5 is meal prepping without being obsessive or without necessarily weighing your food. And this was a huge thing for me, especially from coming from someone who used to be a very, very big perfectionist and still recovering. Obviously, I'm still human. When you're focusing more on the connection that you have with your body, recognizing your signals from your body, like when you're hungry or when you're feeling full and stopping when you're 80% full, like it is really hard to fail. But when we get into that perfectionist mindset of everything having to be perfect, we often, overthink things. And if we think that our meal prep can't be perfect or we don't have the exact right amounts, then it's so easy to get on the other end of it and, my meal prep didn't go as planned, I might as well just eat this. Meal prepping, meals that excite you, whole foods that give you nutrients that will make you feel so good, and also having it to be exciting when you eat it. Because I used to prep meals that was like technically very macro friendly, but they were shit. So I would eat them and then I would eat a lot of other things too. So basically there was like no point because I wasn't sticking to it anyways. Number 6 is to reframe your thoughts and the beliefs that comes from your inner mean girl. And this takes a lot of practice and it actually can be hard to sometimes attach from what is me versus what is my inner mean girl saying. A lot of the times when we get trapped in our bad thoughts and that really dark spiral of not feeling like we are worthy, not feeling like we can do the things that we dream of, and really getting into that, the really toxic bad mindset, it can be really hard to separate from that. So what I like to do whenever I've had to practice this, I worked with a therapist in the past that taught me this. So it's like having part personalities of your brain, right? So whenever think of yourself as like one person, and within that one person, you have like several different part personalities, and calling out whenever one of the personalities take a little bit too much space and attention. And when you get a thought of like, why am I doing this? This is so useless. I can't achieve my goals anyways. What's the point? You take a step back and then you ask yourself, who's saying this? Is it me or is it the mean girl? No, it's actually the mean girl who's saying this, because me, I wouldn't say that about myself, right? Because I don't say those things to myself. But the inner mean girl though, she would say that. And then just detaching from that, it's like, it's not me. It's that person who's saying it. And I'm choosing not to listen to that. And I think that has helped me way more than, trying to redirect the thought. It's like more just pretending that someone else is saying it. Because if someone else on the street would say that you couldn't achieve your goals, or that you're worthless, or that you're fat, or whatever it might be, you would just laugh and you'd be like, who are you? Like, who are you to insult me? You don't know me. But for some reason, when it's in our head, we think that it's us that keeps saying that to ourselves. But if we pretend that it's just another stranger, the inner mean girl who always wants us to feel bad, to not feel worthy, then it's easier to just kind of detach and be like, okay, cool, like I'm not going to listen to that. Call your inner mean bitch out and tell her, hey, I'm not listening to that. I'm going to choose another thought for that instead. Number 7 is to set boundaries for yourself and for others. Not allowing yourself to be like late night scrolling, actually setting a time to when you are going to spend time in your business or like at work and then like at the gym, and then being very clear of like, when I'm doing this task, I'm fully present in that. And when I'm doing something else, I'll be fully present on that. So it's not like you having your energy to be spread out everywhere. And this really helps with like having more mental clarity, but it also helps you to be really focused on your goals and be more aware and actually be more present. So when you're more present, you actually get to be more aware when you have those negative thoughts about yourself, when you have those self-beliefs that are not really serving you. I'm not going to allow this into my space. I'm not going to allow myself to talk this way. I'm not going to allow others to talk to me like this, and be really respectful with your time and treating yourself like you are the most important thing, because you are. You really are. You are like, you are the most important person in your life. Number 8 is to measure your progress than more than just weight loss. Eventually down the track, that's obviously what you're looking to achieve. But if you constantly keep focusing on that scale weight, you are going to feel demotivated, and you are going to eventually throw in the towel and say, stuff this, I'm not doing this anymore. So instead of just focusing on the scale weight, what I want you to focus on is to actually focus on how much better you're doing now versus like 4 weeks ago. Look at your habits, look at how you're speaking to yourself, measure results and progress within your whole lifestyle, because that's basically what you're building out. You're building out a lifestyle for yourself. And so you can't just have one tiny thing in consideration when measuring that progress. Being super fixated on the scale weight is also a very unhealthy way of living. And I always say to my clients, you want to look into, how do you actually want to live your life? Do you want to live your life, wake up every morning worrying about what the scale weight is going to say? No. And if you can actually be very confident and secure in knowing that as long as you keep practicing the habits that really aligns with that higher version of yourself, you are eventually going to experience the results on the scale weight too, because every single habit that you do and the actions that you take is eventually going to give you those results. So stop focusing solely on what the scale weight says. Yes, it's one tool to focus on the things that are beyond the scale weight. Number 9 is to have a plan B every single day instead of having the perfect plan. I have been able to maintain my healthy habits and been able to actually stay on track on my goals, even though I have been moving, even though I've had no car. Like, my life has literally been upside down, and I still been able to maintain and keep track on my goals. And that's purely because I've really come to the conclusion is that if you want to actually create the results that you want, you have to have a plan B, because being perfect is not human. It's not real. And when you're living life, you're not going to be able to stick to a specific plan. You have to be able to have some sort of flexibility. So if you can't meal prep, what are some meals that you can prepare for yourself that are really tasty, that is still going to hit your nutritional targets? Like, you're still going to get enough protein so you don't have to walk around hungry all day, and like having those regular meals and not having so much effort to put in. So what I did for myself, I knew that, okay, for these upcoming 4 days, I'm not going to be able to meal prep. What can I get to make myself like a tasty meal super quickly that will still fulfill me and that will still help me to reach my goals? Having a plan B is actually more important than having a really perfect plan, because it's more realistic. You're always going to get to those points in life where you are going to have to change things. Like, things are going to come up, you're going to have to go to events, you have to be flexible in the way that you approach things. Number 10 is to keep an accountability partner for yourself, to actually hold that support and that you can lean on, because you don't have to do this yourself. When I was 20 kilos heavier, I really tried so hard to get myself back on track, and I didn't reach out for support. I thought that I just needed to handle everything on my own. And I think it came also from a perspective of like, I already knew what to do. I already had all the knowledge. So I felt like I couldn't reach out for support because it would be basically stupid, because I already knew what to do. But just because you have the information doesn't mean that you don't need and want and should be actually taking that support that can help you to get you on track. Because a lot of the times it's not the information that you are missing or lacking, the belief in yourself that you can do this. And having the belief in yourself every single day when you have those hard days, when you're getting those negative thoughts in your head when your inner mean girl wants you to believe that you're going to get stuck and being stuck your whole life. You're never ever going to achieve your goals. You're never ever going to get to where you want to be. That's when you need someone from the outside to pull you back out from the cloud and into the reality. And it's easy to have someone by your side, whether that's a partner, or if it's a coach, or if it's a friend. Like, it could be anyone, but someone that you can reach out to whenever you hit those hard points. And this is what I love supporting my clients with. I love being there for them when they have those negative thoughts around food, or when they are doubting themselves, or when they just feel like they need that extra support. That's what I love about coaching, is being able to be there for them and to actually just hold the space. And number 11, which is the last one, is to create a millionaire mindset. And this has nothing to do with money, how you show up in your life. When you think of a millionaire, they don't walk around feeling bad about themselves or thinking shitty thoughts about themselves. Don't allow people that have a negative impact to be close to them. They treat themselves like they are $1,000,000. Abundance mindset of like, everything will always work out for me when I action the things, when I have the plan and I follow the plan. And even if something doesn't go exactly to plan, I keep taking action and I trust the process. Believing in yourself, even if it feels delusional, you just have to have that belief of like, I am worthy. I am worthy of the results. I'm worthy of hitting the goals. I am actually, like, my time is the most valuable asset I have. So I'm gonna really be so intentional of how I spend every minute. So when you plan out your week, like, you know, you would be like the master, like the big CEO at a company, like you would have $1,000,000 because your time is precious. This really directly affects every area of your life, not just your health. Obviously, when you are a millionaire, you're taking the time to really prioritize healthy foods, like you're preparing lovely meals for yourself, or you're having someone else to meal prep for you. You know, you really take the time to go to the gym because you know how much that impacts your mindset and your everyday life. You know that you'll be able to make better decisions when you train. So not only does it obviously affect your health when you think that way, but it also directly affects your relationship. So the way that you show up for yourself, the way that you show up in relationships, you can just be so much more intentional with every single thing that you do. So whenever in doubt, always have the millionaire mindset of like, what would the millionaire version of you do? The highest version of you that just know that everything will work out, that you action all the things, that even despite not being perfect, you're still taking the action every single day. If you always come back to that mindset every single day, you will reinvent yourself and feel your absolute best. The truth is, these shifts didn't just change my body, they actually changed my life, how I showed up in every single area and part of my life. If you're watching this and you're thinking, this is exactly what I need, this is literally what I help my clients achieve within my process. You can DM me the word ready on Instagram, or you can click on the link below to apply to work with me, because you don't have to figure it all out on your own. There's actually support, and there's someone who's done the whole thing, know what the process looks like and what you actually need within those everyday moments of your life to reinvent yourself. Make sure you subscribe if this hit home. I share honest tools for women who want a real transformation without having to burn out, without hating the process, or without hating themselves. And go and follow me on Insta to get more daily tips. I'll see you in the next video.